Uplift Infinity High School families. I'm excited to communicate a couple things to you in this newsletter. We're just going to go ahead and make it a video. So as I met with teachers, I know that throughout this pandemic, it's probably felt this way at your home too. It's felt a little bit like being Sisyphus from classical mythology, who was meant to lead a life of pushing a rock uphill. It's hard to motivate a teenager who might be at home or who is struggling with a variety of things during this pandemic. And so we're going to take extraordinary steps to help change things up and get things moving downhill for you and your scholar. And I'm going to take off my mask. Not something I get to do at school very often, but everybody's gone today, and I want to make sure you hear me okay. So how are we going to create momentum? I think this is going to be an exciting move, and this comes from some of the details that were given by our attendees last year at our Title I meeting. It took a little while, but I have something to report back that was one of the asks from that group. So first, goal setting is one of the major skills that we would like to develop in our scholars, because if they can hit their goals, then they can keep moving up, and it's also empowering. It's exciting to hit your goals. And the second ingredient of what we're going to use that is to use a teacher as a life coach, an academic coach, a motivator, to be your child's personal coach during the course of the month and a half and help them to become a goal setter and a goal achiever. We'll also leverage some of the motivations of their peers in small groups. So there's some other people holding them accountable as well. So let's get to how we're going to set goals and make a plan. First, we've got a lot of data from semester one now that we are putting together and bringing it together in a report that looks a lot like what we discussed last year parents would like to have. So thanks to Ms. Villanueva, our academic counselor, we have a graduation progress report we're going to issue to you. It's going to be issued in parent conferences with your scholar and your child's goal coach next Friday, the 12th of February. And you're going to be receiving an SMS from that coach, that champion for your child, this Friday. So look for it. Click the link, schedule at a time that works for you. It's only 20 minutes, and it's any time during the day. So you can use a lunch break. You can set up the meeting before you go to work, anytime during that day. That day is also an asynchronous day, which means that your child will be at home and maybe a little closer to you, so you can coordinate getting on the computer at the same time, or use their computer for that matter. So the graduation progress report will indicate to you, not all of these colors will be there because these are all of the options. Your child will have either being on track for graduation and earning the Texas diploma, or they need a couple of courses that they need to make up, or they're missing 3+ credits. And that means we've got some urgency, and that will have the courses listed that need to be made up for graduation. Notice this has some parts that are for grade 12s, and grade 9s aren't going to have to worry about yet, but this is everything that we can communicate to you, and we might even be adding a little something to it as well. But this is a prototype as we move forward. So any STAR tests that have been passed and those that are yet to be passed will be indicated here. The individual graduation committee might be something that your child needs in grade 12. Attendance, just letting you know where you are or your child is. Report card, looking specifically at classes where there's been a failing grade. Maybe there have been no classes. That would be the green dot. But if there have been, then one of the suggested pathways would be for you to use the forced credit route, or your child to, which means that if they received a 65 in semester one, if they can get to a 75, which averages out as 70, then that's the fastest, easiest way to make sure that they recover that credit. It's forced because they've shown that they've learned throughout the year, and their overall average is passing. So that we would highly recommend as number one strategy. And if not, then we'll get into some of the actions later on to help make up those credits. But this means that they're just going to classes and trying their best and working with all of the other supports that we have. Their grade point average and their class rank will be communicated to you privately on this report. Any interventions that we tried to use to help motivate them in the first semester, so we can talk about those, and any action steps we suggest for the second semester. So that report will come along with already having a hard copy, we hope, a soft copy of the semester one report, and we're going to send these all together to you so you can put it on your refrigerator, and talk about these goals at home and keep track of them. Next, we're going to get to work. And you can see there are a number of stops along these tables in February and March where your child will be meeting with their coach and getting motivated, just keeping that focus on those goals, hearing about how the goals are going, overcoming the hurdles and the obstacles so that we can celebrate with you on a couple of these days. On the 22nd of February, you'll get progress reports and we'll see how the grades are going. On the 4th of March, that week, we'll be having scholar-led conferences where your scholar will be presenting to you and to their champion or to their coach how they're doing on their goals and victories they've had and struggles they've had and ways they're going to continue to improve. The quarter 3 report will come out on the 22nd of March, so you can celebrate, we hope, or get some updates, and then we're going to have another parent conference on the 31st. So that is 3 parent conferences, but quick ones, so we can just keep that panda going downhill and make sure that your child is hitting their goals. We also love this model because if your child's one of those students who is consistently, your scholar is consistently one of those scholars who they're doing fine. They don't worry about failing. That credit recovery piece, they don't have to worry about that, but maybe they're at an 80 or 85%, and you've been trying to get them to shoot for a 90 because you know they could if they worked a little bit harder. Well, this will take them from good to very good. And if they're sitting right at a 90, let's get to great. Let's go all the way. Every kid, every scholar hits their target. That's the teamwork, and that's going to continue into the rest of the semester. We know we're going to accomplish more in doing this. There's just one more thing I want to introduce to you. We have, as we communicated last time, Mr. Colton Sylvia has taken over as our high school athletic director. Ms. Naomi Mays is now our arts teacher, who has just joined us, and this will come out in the newsletter. Just a quick glimpse of her introduction, and you can read it at your own leisure. And Miss Lene Davis will be joining us starting on Monday to become our new physical and health education teacher. We'll have a little bit of an orientation, and then she'll be with students on Tuesday. So thank you very much for listening. I look forward to seeing you all online with more details to come in a written version so you can refer to them. Thank you very much.